Hello YouTube, s&djr. I'm just doing another little update video of my layout, and yeah, so I've been doing quite a bit. Last thing you saw was me constructing the hills, the tunnel, and showing you approximately where the track is going to sit behind me. So yeah, I'm starting here just to say what's happening. I need to learn how to do the wiring for this first of all. Which is why I haven't done any more on the turntable. Each track needs to have two wires dropping down, one from either track. Then underneath I'll attach up all the positives, all the negatives together, and I'll attach it somewhere onto the track over there. But anyway, yeah, I've got to make sure what I just said is correct. And I've got to check there's no other little bits I need to alter or anything like that. I also think I'm going to add switches on each one, so they're not always live. It's just something I want to add for safety reasons if I've got DC and DCC running at the same time. So yeah, this is what I've done. Most of the scenery work. It's green. It's the easiest way to say it. So yeah, as you can see, I paper mache it over the top. And I've given it its base coat of green, this sort of darkish green, but as you can now see, hopefully you can see how the scenery is looking. Basically we've got a nice hill here. If I come down to the level, you can see the hill and the different levels on it and things like that. Sloping off down here, a bit more rugged area just around here. This will be a bit more like a dirty cliff looking edge there, as well up there a bit. And then it slopes off down to the bottom, which will be grassed up and things like that. I've also got this flat area here, which will be a car park, possibly. I'll create a cave or something in here. We'll have to see how that goes. As you can see though, it's come up quite nicely to match up with the original track. You can just about see the joint there, but you can't any further, so that's worked really nicely. But as you can see, this is quite a nice long siding. I'll probably get maybe another 2 or 3 wagons like this in this space here, and I'd still have enough room for the clearance required here. Same on the other side, actually, it's the same size. Might possibly be slightly bigger actually on this one. The hill coming along the back, a little bit of a issue just there, but all that needs is either something pushed on top of it like a tree or something through there, bush, something like that, or else I just need a bit of glue to hold it back down. It's all that happened there was when I was using the paintbrush, I managed to stick the end of it through because it was a bit flimsy in these 2 areas. That was just me being rough. But anyway, yeah, here's the tunnel entrance. As you can see, the track fits very nicely. I've checked all the clearances, and they're fine for the long coaches, so they're okay. It's what it's going to be is on this side here and this side here will have a bit of a wall look to it, and then this little bit down here on the far side will be rock, as will on this edge around to about here somewhere, grass all the way on top. Again, this is the high point going down to low point, a bit steeper. I wanted it to look a bit like, to put this lower track in, they had to remove dirt from here, so there'll be a bit more rugged looking walls on either side, and the same at the end here. Now I might put something over this gap here, something just like that, paint it green and leave it at that, just to cover the gap, but we'll have to see how that goes, as I'm not sure if there's much point. I may turn this into a bridge, a very small bridge here. I think that'd look alright, an iron girder bridge, something like that. So anyway, yeah, that is the basic scenery down for, I'm going to say all the track now. The only places left to do is the tunnel entrance here and there, and just coming out of there is why I need tunnel entrances. But other than that, that is the basic scenery down, done, and painted. The next sort of scenery is the bit more difficult stuff of adding fields, as I said, grey areas, brown areas, a few roads and stuff. At the moment I've got one road here, one in the back corner. There will be a dirt track on here somewhere, I don't know, and there's very likely to be a walking track as well that will come up to the top here somewhere. I'm planning on putting a little war memorial about here somewhere, not quite on the top, on the slightly flatter bit next to it, so that should look okay, and then obviously a pathway going up to it. So anyway, yeah, down to the track. I finally stuck down this piece of track here. The rest of it was stuck to that one I needed doing. On top of that, I've stuck down the rest of the track. So yeah, just make sure I don't hit my head. There we go. As I said before, as you saw in the previous video, how it's going to sit. I've now finalised it all and stuck it down. The only thing that is missing is 1, 2, 3 straights, flexi track, which is just over there. It's all that needs is cutting, but I need to get a new pair of pliers because mine have gone blunt and they're not cutting cleanly anymore. But that's what's going to be there. 1, 2, 3 sidings, longer ones. They'll be long enough to hold 2 coaches like this. As you can see, 2 coaches fill the station area, so that's as long as it's going to be. Obviously on the other track there, I probably get 2 coaches in, plus a tender loco, like this sort of size loco, but with a tender on the back, which fit in this side here. So yeah, the track is all stuck down all the way around here. I finalised this area. The crane is going to sit on this track, then your siding, and the one in the middle, I've stopped it short so I can put a very small turntable at the back, and then I'll put a building in front of it. So yeah, sort of a drive-through building. If people want to know a bit more about that, if you watch my previous video, you'll understand what's happening. So yeah, so down to the stations now. If I just grab this other piece of track, make sure it's flat. There we go. Right, it will sit approximately like that. Maybe a little bit further in, so I don't have to put anything under this corner. If I just, this is a piece of flexi track, so I'll bend it slightly. So as you can now see quite clearly, well, hopefully you can. This is where the station will sit, in this gap here. I have a station building up this end somewhere, car park around the back. On this side here, I'm going to have a slightly smaller station, no buildings, just a few canopies, and a crossing bridge right here somewhere. I think that'll be enough room. Then comes my wall behind and into this area. Now this piece here, you may not be able to tell from this angle, but if I drop down to there somewhere, I hope you can see that the tracks are at different heights, lower, higher, and then highest, which was done just by changing the level. And this is what I was going to do. Wherever there's a steep section, it'll be a bit more rocky looking. Wherever it's a bit shallower, like here, it'll be just long grass, and maybe a few steps or stuff going through it. So yeah. The next sort of job for me to do is to make sure that the track's working. I'm having a little bit of a problem with one point. Unfortunately, there's no way I can remove it without damaging quite a lot of stuff. But I've worked out as all it is a dead piece of track. Sorry, a dead connector. So I'm just going to drill 2 holes and run a U-shaped piece of wire down, solder it to either side, and that should fix it very quickly. Yeah, so that's alright. Once that's done, I'll be able to test this properly. At the moment, I'm having to use just the end of a nail to cross the 2 pieces of metal. It's not short-circuiting or anything, it's just creating the current. But it seems to be I'm able to drive the train down most pieces of track. I'm having a little problem just at the end over there, but I think it's dirty track. I'm going to have to use some sandpaper like I did for the rest of it, and just shine up all the track. I've only done about half of it at the moment, so we'll see how it goes. But before I can do really any sort of proper testing of the track, I need to attach this up, so it's up level. I then need to find somewhere building a bridge in. I'm still going for the idea of having a little bit of track to the edge of the board where I'll put some solid piece of wood, and then from the solid piece of wood I'll be able to attach a nice hinge to it, and then that will run round to this piece of track here, which when I lift up this underboard, you can see that the piece of track now runs flush with the edge, making it nice and easy just to drop down a piece of bridge. Same goes for the back piece. That will also run flush with the edge of the track once it's done. So anyway, yeah, finally the last thing which I've been doing is obviously this, if I turn on the light this time, is my signal box. I started to do some weathering. Over you can see just above the windows, there's some green like moss, green moss, and under there as well. All the way up the stairs there's some. Top window, a little bit on the handrail. We've been trying to build a tree. This is not a wild tree like the ones over there. This is a bit more of a tree you'd see in your garden that somebody goes out every month and trims off the edges and stuff, which is the design I've given it. Now I've made this tree here out of sorry about that. I made this tree out of twisting some copper wire together. Basically, all I did is I just cut open two pieces of wire about 2 inches long, removed the outer casing and twisted it all together. But is what I didn't remove all the outer casing. From the bottom to the first tree, you can just about see there it's black. That's the original casing, and I left it as a trunk. This does mean you don't have to use as much glue, because what most people do is they dunk these completely in glue until it all goes solid and attached together before they start adding the greenery. But instead is what I did is I just went up, as you can hopefully see, about half an inch, fanned out the bottom, so half an inch of the plastic on, fanned out the bottom, left about 8mm, 10mm of casing, insulation casing there. Before I removed the rest of the casing out, and it gave me the ability to bend these twigs and stuff around. Yeah, most of it is in singles, as in just one piece of wire bent round. I then very carefully added glue. I didn't just want the branches to, I didn't want the glue to jump between two branches. By that I mean the glue can get attracted to one side of the copper wire and then the other side on a different branch. So with a craft knife I very carefully added the glue, trying not to waste too much, and then I just sprinkled on some static grass is what I actually used. This stuff. I think it looks quite nice. Unfortunately the light is changing the colour from the green it is to a blue. As you can see, the base colour. Maybe if I turn off the light, give you a proper idea. Yeah, that's looking a bit more greeny. So yeah, you can see how the tree looks. At the moment it's sticking down, and as well you can still see white glue. But those there, I'm going to leave them, and hopefully they're going to give the effect of roots growing around the tree. If I put some garden green over it, maybe a flower bed or so around the back, I'm going to make this area into a bit more of like a cared-like garden sort of look to it. Somebody's added a few plants and stuff for their little house. And on top of that, I'm going to get some white fencing. At the moment I've got the black stuff. If I turn it upside down, and it will be attached down there on the far side of the slope. As you can see, that means it's not raising it up very high, and it will run from this corner here all the way around on 90 degrees to about here somewhere. Is how it will sit. I'm going to be building a little car park here for about 2 or 3 cars, 2 cars at the most probably. And a little roadway going off to join off to the village in the back corner. So yeah, that should be done. And then this side of it here is just going to be rough grass up to there. So yeah, that's the sort of thing. That's the first bit of a bit more detailed scenery I'm doing on this new board. Now the scenery on this board here is going to be a bit more basic. It's going to be long grass, trampled down grass, a bit more grey and brown rocky areas. Obviously once the track has been ballasted, it will really break up the green, I think, and it will change the colour really nicely. It should look good. I'm still struggling to get a static grass applicator because I don't really want to pay £100 for one. So I think that's outrageously expensive just for something I'm only going to use a couple of times on this and probably not use again. Anyway, yes. yeah, that sort of thing is coming up. I'm going to be building a station soon. I will hopefully be doing a video for that. I'm going to customise my station, so that is the point of this. I've got to try and find some more of this polystyrene, but I'm just having a few ideas at the moment. We'll see how it goes, but I need about 3 times the length, 4 times the length of this almost. So that's what will be coming up, building my station. I'm going to hopefully be getting an engine shed to stick over there. Once the engine shed's down, I'll be able to work out how big the village can be, and what sort of things it's going to cover. Once the station is in, I can start working on the back over there. Unfortunately, I can't really judge any size or anything until the station is in. I'm going to have to be building my own gantry crane because I'm unable to find one on the internet, or if I'm not using gantry crane, it'll be a crane on N-gauge rails. I've been thinking about that. And if I run 2 N-gauge rails and then get 4 wagons, N-gauge wagons, with no body on them, so just the chassis, I will hopefully be able to build off of that very carefully. If I build a crane that comes up to a point, and then the whole thing will move it up and down the road, I think that will look quite nice. If I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do normal gantry crane. So yeah, that is basically the update for today. Hopefully the next one will be coming next week sometime. I'm not quite sure how much I've got to do there till then. I am going to a model railway exhibition thing, my local one. So I may do a little video on that. They've got some nice layouts coming around, and I may be able to buy some more scenery there as well. So I may do that sort of video next week. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please just leave them below. If you like what you've heard, then please subscribe to my channel, and check out the rest of my videos of how my layout guys got to this stage. So yeah, thanks for watching.